Hey gun people, gonna talk about some cop terms here, and I'll go through them. So if you want to like screenshot this or copy it or whatever, you probably won't be able to see it once I get out there pointing and talking. But let me move this back just a little bit. All right, that should get my big head in there. So I ain't had a video in a few days. I'd take a few days off. I got tired of arguing with every damn body. Shit, nobody can come here and just state their opinion. They got to try and convince me to change mine and argue, and then if I don't agree with them, I'm somehow crazy. So let's talk about cop terms. Now these are just some of the terms that cops use that if you heard on the radio you may not know. If you hear cops talking, you know, there's kind of like a secret, I'm not going to say a secret code, but there's a terminology and a lingo that cops kind of learn. You'll see Tom Henry here, Adam Henry here, Nora Papa there. I'll get into that in a second. We'll start right here. Stage. If somebody says I need you to stage or staging, that basically means if we're going to this intersection here and I want you to stage here, that means I'm going to wait for one cop to get here. So on the first unit I say I'm staging at this corner, and then the next cop gets there, and then once we get 2 or 3 cops, we all go to our location, wherever it is. And that's what staging is. I should probably get my little eraser. Maybe I won't because I can't find it. Stupid eraser. Disappeared. Oh, there it is. So if you hear staging, a lot of times cops will stage if there's a violence call or somebody with a gun. The first cop there don't go in and try and rush and save you. He's going to wait. Per policy, you got to have more than one person. Government don't want to lose their people, so they make rules to protect them. Kind of like they can carry guns and you can't. Those kind of rules, that's what government does. So that's what staging is. Lockdown, if I say lock down the area or lockdown, that means that I want people to either contact the people inside the building, tell them to stay in the area, or I want the other cops to start setting up perimeter. And if a house is here and I want to set up a perimeter and I tell them, well, most cops will know wherever the roadways are, wherever some guy can run out of here or drive out of here, that's where I want locked down. And usually the first guy on the scene, if it's not the sergeant, sometimes it's the guy in charge of the scene. As a detective, if I get there and it's my scene, then I'll pull out a map and I'll start saying I need a unit here, I need a unit here, I need a unit here, I need a unit here. Then dispatch will get that down. Good dispatchers will already know that. They'll, as soon as you say lock down or set me up perimeter or close down the area, something to that effect, the dispatchers will have the map in front of them. They'll start saying I need a unit here, 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 here. They may call for other outside agencies if you don't have enough cops to shut down that area. And again, if you hear something like that, and like I'm rolling around in my undercover car, and I'm working as a detective, and I'm working a beat or something, and I hear that they need extra units for a perimeter or something, then I'll go ahead and pull off and tell them, hey, I'll take up this corner, or I'll take up this position, or I'm here. Where do you need me? And if it's a big area to where they're doing it on scene, then somebody will set up a command post, and wherever CP's at, the command post, everybody will meet there, and then they'll be issued where you need to go, where you got to go. You don't usually do that at command post for an active perimeter because you're worried about catching somebody. You do something like that if you want to search for evidence, you want to set out search teams, or you've already got a perimeter set up, and now you want to start going and doing your other stuff. So that's what a lockdown is. WB, if we hear WB on the radio responding, that can be a white boy or a suspect at WB is wearing a WB, a wife beater shirt. Tank top, we're going to Cranker, white trash, trailer park, whatever you want to call it. We go in there, everybody's wearing a tank top, we call them wife beaters. So if he's got a wife beater shirt on, we know we're looking for one of those white tank tops. Cranker, we're going to call somebody who's on crank, they're jumping up and down. We know they're a meth head, probably a mether. A crackhead, they're going to be on crack where cocaine's more relevant. If I'm working a black area, it's probably going to be crack's going to be the drug of choice. If I'm working a white area, crank's going to be the drug of choice. So it depends on what area you're in, whether it's going to be a cranker or a crackhead. UI, that's going to be under the influence. So that can be under the influence of drugs, alcohol, hallucinogenics, whatever. If somebody says, I'll be out with a UI, or we've got a report of a UI, that means we've got somebody under the influence. Now you put a D in front of that, you have DUI, driving under the influence, same thing. 5150 in California is a crazy guy. That's 5150 at the Health and Safety session. I think it's H&S. Hell, I ain't taught in a while, but basically it says you're a danger to yourself or others, so you're crazy. So under that section, I can take you into custody, turn you over to a shrink. The shrink will let you go and say you're not a danger, but then I'm not in trouble because I gave you the shrink. So that's what a 5150, a crazy person, is. A lot of cops will use the local crazy hospital or mental hospital in their area. You know, if it's Bellevue, then they'll say, you know, I'm out with a Bellevue or something. And they'll just say the hospital, and then somebody will know. The cops will know, okay, he's out with a crazy person. So if he's not asking for a cover or backup. So BMA, BMJ is a black male adult. BMJ, black male juvenile. WMA, white male adult. Okay, white, whatever. So when you hear those three letters, we already know, and that's just a short term. If we want to get a suspect out, we're looking for a BMA, 5'8", brown and brown, thin build, no shirt, black jeans, wearing Raiders hat backwards. And if I'm looking for a WNA, I got a WMA, wife beater shirt, tats on his arm, you know, cut off blue jeans, whatever. So that's just a short for what we are. If you're out with a J, you're talking about a juvie or juvenile. Some people will say juvie. But if you're out with a J, or if I'm transporting a juvenile, I got to go out with a J, or I have to give starting mileage. Same thing if I'm X-ray. An X is normally a female. So if I say I'm out with an X, that means I'm out with a female. If I'm transporting an X, that means I'm transporting a woman, and most agencies require you call in your starting mileage and your ending mileage. And so if I'm transporting an X, I'll be transporting at starting mileage 286. I'll give the last three on my thing, it'll be 286. And then whenever I get to my destination, I go arrival location, ending mileage 290. And they know I've gone 4 miles. So later, if she comes back that we pulled over, had sex 3 times, I made her suck my big toe, whatever, and then she ran and I chased her, and they have all this timeline, and then we go back and we drive it, and then you go back and you say when you gave your starting and when you got there and what's the average driving time. There's no way you had time to do that. So that's why cops give their starting and ending mileage when transporting an X or a J. A bolo, we talked about that in another video. If you watch some other videos, be on the lookout. BOL, same thing, be on the lookout. That means I'm going to tell you I'm looking for somebody. You saw say a BOL before I put that information out. Beeper, talked about that. Somebody wants the air clear, the radio clear, don't talk, emergency, traffic only. I'll say give me the beeper, or just say beeper. And they'll hit the tone. And that's the alert tone that beeps every 3 seconds. That means stay off the air unless you got an emergency. Somebody's got something going on. Whoever asked for the beeper obviously has an emergency in progress, or he needs priority traffic. Another way to not do the beeper and say priority traffic is say priority traffic, and then everybody should shut up if they hear that, saying, hey, give this guy the radio, he needs to put out something in a but that doesn't keep the air clear. That's only for an immediate. Code 1, 2, and 3. Code 1 is this normal routine, go handle something code 1 when you get a chance. It's not big deal, it's not an emergency, it's not in progress, nobody's in danger. Handle it code 1, no problem. Code 2 means a little bit more urgency, hurry up, get to it, it's an emergency response. Normally code 2 is lights only and no siren. Technically in California, and it's different in some other states, you're not covered by emergency vehicle driving. So if you get in an accident and you just have your lights on, you don't fall under the protection of emergency vehicle because you didn't have your lights and siren on. In order to get under the protection of the vehicle code in California, I don't know about other states, you have to have lights and sirens. So most agencies don't like you going code 3. You either drive with your lights off or you turn on your siren so you're covered. And you know, some agencies will have lights and siren when needed. So you turn on your lights, and when I'm hit an intersection, I pop the siren and it clears the intersection, and then I go through, then I turn off my siren. And that may be I don't want to alert the people I'm coming, or it's in the middle of the night and there's no reason to wake up the whole neighborhood and run your siren around all night to go on a call. So using your siren is one of those, you know, I guess it's subjective on what you want to, when you want to do it, what the policy is, and what you can justify. Vice versa, if we're going to a fight and we're responding to a park with you know, 20 to 30 gang members using bats, clubs, knives, and gunshots were heard, then when we respond, we're going to have our sirens on because we want them to run. We're going to go in slow, we're going to turn on our siren, and they'll all scatter and be gone. People think the cops are coming to catch them. They're not. They just want you to stop, get the hell out of there. If you leave, then we can respond. We'll pick up the dead bodies and cut bodies, draw chalk lines, do whatever we got to do, and take our report and move on to our next call. Nobody's coming there to save you. I know, I'm breaking everybody's bubble world out there. ASAP, as soon as possible. That means just handle it when you get a chance. It's kind of priority. SOP, standard operating procedure. Whatever the policy is, whatever's going on, whatever is prior practice, what's ever done and condoned, however we normally do it, that's called SOP, standard operating procedure. A biohazard, if you get a biohazard from a dispatch because you're dealing with somebody, that normally means person has AIDS, hepatitis, known to use needles, something that tells you probably want to put gloves on. So if I call in, hey man, run this person all systems, Billy Bob, here's his DL number or XREF number, you run him, all of a sudden dispatch come back and go, unit biohazard. Okay, so they'll tell me that I have a biohazard, and then I normally will say, hang on a second, I'll turn my radio down so I can hear it, say go ahead, and then they'll say suspect has blah blah. So that's what a biohazard is. Different agencies will have different codes for dealing with people like that. DWO, oh man, I know I'm going to get heat for this one. Sometimes you get these little Asian women driving around and they're driving stupid and crazy. So if we get a call of a drunk driver or somebody that we pull up and it's a little Asian lady, we go, it's DWO. I know, it's horrible. Oh, cops are so mean. Blue hair, same thing. If we have a little old lady with blue hair and she can't see and she's driving like crap and somebody calls in and they go, hey man, you need contact, blah, blah, we pull up to them, we go, we're going to clear, it's blue hair. Everybody knows it's just some little old lady that ain't bothering nobody, just move on. So blue hair is an old lady. Code, cops will say I'm out of code or I'm going to code. That normally means we won't take a leak, you're going to eat. Most time it means eat, but if I'm going to be out on a quick code break or something, sometimes that'll be a B is a break. You'll hear, I'll be out on a B. I'll be out on my residence on a B. I'll be out on a B at Shell Station so-and-so. That just means I'm out on a break. So I don't know if people can even use scanners, if you can still hear cops talk. But anyway, cover, obviously that means that I need help. I need some cover, I need some backup. Send me another unit. Something's going down that's not good. So if you hear somebody yell cover, that's almost like yelling help or get here quick or I need additional units. UTL or GOA is unable to locate. If I get called of a suspicious person in an area and I get over there 2 hours later because I'm handling other calls, so I drive around. Hi, Mookie! So I'm driving around and I can't find a guy. I go, show me UTL. That means I'm unable to locate. Or show me GOA. Suspect is GOA. He's gone on arrival. So GOA, UTL, either ones mean I can't find a guy. NHI, if you're dealing with a bunch of piece of shits and you're just clearing a unit and you're really not arresting anybody, you don't want to do anything, you're not taking a report, you just clear NHI and that means no humans involved. Meaning it's just a bunch of piece of craps that's causing trouble and I really can't do anything because they're not breaking the law and I don't want to deal with them. So NHI, a lot of agencies don't like using that because then it gets into, if you NHI a white guy, it's no problem. If you NHI a black guy, suddenly you're a racist and you're calling him he's not human because he's black and you're a racist. And you clear any other thing, but you clear a call with a black guy NHI and all of a sudden you're a racist. Like everything else in this crazy upside down world. A zebra unit or zebra, if you want to tell somebody a sergeant's around or I need a sergeant, you can ask for a zebra unit. The 3 stripes for the zebra, that just means that's normally how cops refer to a sergeant supervisor if you need a zebra or a zebra unit. 36 or confidential. 1036 means are you clear for confidential information. So if I'm on a call, and this happens all the time, you're talking to somebody you're dealing, they're running your checks, you're out there BSing trying to figure out what's going on, you're about to let the guy go, whatever, and all of a sudden they come back 1036 or 36. And that means confidential. Some dispatchers that are doing plain talk, they go, they'll go 721, you clear for confidential. That means whatever I'm about to tell you, you don't want the suspect to hear. So I don't want to go, yeah, if I'm standing next to the suspect and the guy's there. Sometimes I will. If there's enough room for him to run, I want him to run, and I don't really give a shit, and I got units, and I'd rather chase him down than maybe he'll throw some dope, whatever. So I'll let him hear it sometime. If I got enough units, sometimes I don't want him to hear it. I don't want him to get a jump. So if my partner's dealing with him and I want to find out and not let anybody know, but most cops know as soon as you get confidential or 1036, that usually means the guy's got a warrant. Dispatcher's going to come back and say, your suspect is wanted for, attempted murder, is armed and dangerous, drug, whatever. So if they give you 1036 information, your senses and everything needs to go up immediately. If they go, are you clear for confidential or are you 1036? that means they're about to tell you something that's probably officer safety in nature. So you need to pay attention, and you better watch your suspect, because now he knows, before this, he knows what you didn't know. Now you're about to find out, and he may know you're about to find out. And again, dangerous part is when you're putting the cuffs on. They know it's their last chance to escape. If they know you're getting info, and I just hear them and they go, yeah, go ahead, and they come back, yeah, your suspect is probably a large, armed, and dangerous, wanted for 2 homicides on a cop, and a guy standing there listening to this, gigs up. He knows if he's got a gun, he's got to shoot you now, or he's got to run, or he's got to attack you. I mean, it gigs up. So that's why they go 1036 or confidential. And then tits up, you know, most people know that. If you're lying back on your dead, you're out of commission. If something's tits up or a body's tits up, that means they've checked out, you know, they're gone. So those are some codes. The Nora Papa is, you know, if you're talking in code, if you're telling me to do something, I'll say Nora Papa instead of saying no problem. It's just kind of cop talk. They talk in their lingo. I talked about phonetic alphabet, Alpha, Bravo, Delta, all that. So you just use those letters to say what you want. If I say Adam Henry, you take the A and you take the H and you get asshole. So who are you dealing with there? Are you code 4? Yeah, I just got Adam Henry. Can't say asshole over radio, so I'll say Adam Henry. Tom Henry, take the T, take the H, thank you. Okay, you're welcome. So when you hear different terms like that and they're not spelling something, that's just a shortcut name for, you know, if I'm spelling out cop, you know, I'll say Charles Ocean Paul and spelling out cop. But if I want to, you know, if I want to say DWO and I don't want to say DWO, I'll say David William Ocean. And that means DWO. So those are some of the cop terms. I mean, I'm sure there's others that I forgot. I just kind of made a quick list off the top of my head on things that cops talk about that maybe other people either don't know or don't understand. If it helps, great. If it don't, I really don't give a shit. Don't be coming here arguing about freaking in your agency, that's not right, and the feds use this, and you don't know, and I'm whatever. Freaking people, just watch the damn video and leave if you don't like it.